Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, hello, my name is Amy. We're gonna get started straight away on the Q&A of all the questions that you had from me on my Instagram. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you don't want to miss out on the next Q&A. First question from Karine from Montreal. Who inspires you for clothing? How do you choose your outfits and what are the steps? Oh wow, I never even thought of that. Okay. Who inspires me for clothing? I honestly don't think anybody. I don't really have a specific person that inspires me on what to wear. For as long as I could remember as a kid, like as a little kid, I have always been attracted to beautiful clothing. Whenever I was asked to choose which outfit do you want, I always pointed to the red one. I loved wearing dresses all the time, even in the dead of winter. Of course, I was never really allowed to wear dresses in the winter, although that would have been my perfect outfit. And so I was always a little bit upset at the time because I lived in Montreal and it was always very cold in the winters and we have snow all the way up to our chest, you know, because as a little kid, right? Obviously, as a high schooler, I didn't have any money, but once I started working, which I did, I worked very early and I hustled. I knew the value of money very early on. Once I started making a little bit of money, even as early as 12 years old, then I started shopping and I just bought whatever I was attracted to. Even as of today, it is still the same. I think I just go by what looks good on me and also my own personal preference. I do prefer things to look more on the classic side, but I like it with details. So whether it's detail in the cutting or whether it's detail with like extra trims of like other textures, such as, you know, adding pieces of leather or like having some sort of logo, whatever, like I guess it didn't really matter. It's just whatever I see that I like. That also looks good on me. I know my body type pretty well since I've been sort of playing with clothes at a young age. I have a slimmer, straighter body build. I just go for things that will accentuate where I want to accentuate. For example, I will never go for teeny tiny little jeans that have like little waist and then a big bum, just because I don't have that kind of body shape. Not all tops suit me, even though I am on the slimmer side. I don't love tops that are just cut off straight like that on the shoulder, like those muscle tank tops. They don't look good because then it just shows my flabby arms and it's straight and I don't have any like waist to kind of balance the ratio. You know what I mean? I don't have like very big shoulders and then small waist like that. So I don't like things that cut off in a weird way that makes me look bigger than I am. I don't know anybody else that does it, but back in high school, like I said, when I started making money and I started buying some clothes for myself, nothing expensive obviously at the time, but it's still, you know, you can still find pretty cool stuff at Le Chateau, and like I think at the time there was like a store called Coho's. Eventually I even dragged my best friends to play with me, so we would take pictures of each other modeling the clothing. Like we would mix up all our clothes together to sort of like style them and take pretend modeling pictures. It was so fun. I miss it so much. I did it with two of my best friends and yeah, that's sort of the type of things that I used to do, and I think I am really meant to be that kind of personality. I just was born with it, and you know, they wouldn't have done it unless I dragged them to do it with me. So I think it just goes to show that it's really ingrained in my personality, if that makes sense. The next question is by Lux Monologue. Recommendations for a casual crossbody. Wow, there are so many, and it depends on your budget and also your brand preference. Favorite ones from my collection are the Chanel 19, a pretty pricey one, but obviously that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Aside from the Chanel 19, I like the Chanel Mini, of course. For me, they are kind of casual because they're crossbody. The moment they're crossbody without a top handle, it's a bit more casual for me. But if Chanel is not your cup of tea, for a very budget-friendly option, I really recommend this Longchamp little crossbody bag. You won't be able to get this exact print. In fact, I think it's harder and harder to get this style of bag now because forget the name of this exact one, but whenever they do make it, they will make it in a limited edition print. So just keep your eyes out, or just check with your Longchamp or your department stores often whenever they come out with this extra small size Le Pliage, the ones that have the extra detachable crossbody. This one is really good because it's actually quite roomy. Between a Speedy 20 and a mini nano speedy size, it's really spacious. As you can see, it can even fit a continental size wallet, and it's really cute, very price friendly, like around the $300–400 range. So this would be a great example, super carefree. Aside from this, which I know is hard to find, I really lately have been sort of eyeing, not that I would get it necessarily, but I have been eyeing, because like, you know, spending money on Hermes pre-spend and just their bags in general has been a very difficult and challenging. You can't just do that all the time. So like, to have a bit of fun and to add other things on your collection that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, literally. So I have been eyeing the Saint Laurent, the YSL zippered camera bag. The price point is really good. It's still under $2,000 in Canada, so plus tax is just around the $2,000 mark. Other than that, from my own collection, I would say that these are my sort of casual crossbody bags. So this one is the LV Twice. It's discontinued now, but you can still find it on the pre-love market, and I will just link to some on the description box down below. I love this one because it's literally my I don't know what to wear bag. For me, this bag, which is obviously not going to be easy to get, any Hermes bags, whether quota or non-quota, are hard to get. So for me, this would be considered a very casual bag in my opinion, because of the more thicker strap. It's sort of like that bulky style that sticks out of your body. At least on me, it sticks out quite a bit. And it just has this like design that not everyone will know. So for me, this is definitely a casual bag. Also from Luxe Monologue, would you recommend the Farandole necklace or the Hermes Cape Cod watch if you have to pick one? So you're asking between this necklace or the Cape Cod watch. I am kind of biased. I prefer investing in fine jewelry, or putting my money towards fine jewelry, not investing. These are not investments. I prefer buying fine jewelry than watches, because most of the time I'm not even wearing a watch. I only wear a watch when I'm going out or if I'm walking, and most of the time I'm only wearing my Apple Watch anyway. And so I don't really care for a watch that much. I do have an Hermes watch because it was part of a special custom event, the special order. So if you haven't seen that, I will link it up here. So for me, easily, I will choose the Farandole necklace any day. And this necklace is great because it's price friendly from Hermes. Very simple, it doesn't have any diamonds or anything like that, but that's why I like it, because it's very lightweight. It's my everyday jewelry, and I just enhance my whole jewelry stack with other pieces of diamond jewelry. So this is my new daily stack. Shout out to Idyl jewelry, which is great because I get so much cost per wear. Like, I'm literally wearing these 24/7. Next question by Roy Melendez. Aesthetically, which among the luxury fine jewelry brands have the best diamonds? Hermes, Cartier, or Tiffany? I guess my answer will not be very technical because I don't think I am qualified to say which brand has the best diamonds. However, the three brands that you mentioned are all very highly luxurious brands, and I'm sure they will not use low quality diamonds. But I will say, aesthetically speaking, for me, it boils down to trying on the specific piece that I'm interested in and whether it suits me. Having said that, I really do like Hermes jewelry. It was my Hawaii essay that told me. He name dropped so many things that I forgot exactly what he said, but for sure he said that Hermes uses De Beers diamonds. And so does many high luxury brands out there. So I believe, don't quote me, I believe he also said that Cartier also used De Beers diamonds. Tiffany, however, uses their own. So yeah, I feel like it just depends on the piece. For me, when I chose this bracelet, it was really love at first sight, and the only thing that made me took so long to get it, I was really trying to weigh all my options. Someone asked me why I didn't choose Bulgari, and it's just because aesthetically it didn't look as good on me compared to this bracelet. This was the most aesthetically pleasing on me. It had all the boxes checked for me. It was easy to remove. It's an everyday piece that wasn't so out of this world that I couldn't just wear and be confident about it. I love the full pave one, but again, I'm going on a tangent, but the full pave one was just a bit too much as an everyday piece. And this was just the perfect piece. The next question is by Sharon Loy Wong. Where did you score your white Pegasus? And what are the exact colors? Okay, Sharon, I think you're asking about this little Pegasus, which you saw on my Instagram. So you must have missed my video where I unboxed this. I got this in Hawaii. So I was able to buy this Pegasus along with other things. I bought some ready to wear. I bought a small leather good, and this was also from my Hawaii haul. I will just link to my Hawaii haul here. The colors are Cré in the main horse, and this one is Mauve Sylvestre, I think. The green is Vert Céleste. And yes, I know I say it in French, so it might be hard to hear. But yeah, those are the colors. And I showed it in detail in my unboxing video with the tags, so you can rewatch that. Next question by Jim Lux. What was your ratio for your Birkin? How long did you wait? I don't know. And this is me being very honest, because the Birkin was so long ago and there was such a kerfuffle that happened with it. But for sure it was around 2 to 1 or just a bit over, because it took me a year. Basically, it I started my journey in January and I got it within the year. I think 11 months. It is a bit more challenging in Vancouver. They say that for your first bag, it's supposed to be much faster, but I think fast for us is like a year. So if you get your first bag within your first year, you're considered really lucky. Don't quote me on it. Obviously, this is just what I hear and what people say in general, but I hear that in Vancouver or Canada in general, the ratio for each quota bag is around 2 to 3. So, I get these questions so often. I almost get them so often and I keep repeating myself. So I feel like I'm just a broken record. But basically, if you're on your journey, once you hit the 2 to 1 ratio mark, don't be afraid to talk about your wish list at that point, because they expect you to. Like, they know that you are spending money buying things not just for the sake of spending. They know that you want a bag. So don't be afraid to talk about it once you hit that ratio or even close to that ratio, because it takes some time for them to look into their inventory and what's coming in. And because we don't get as much stock in Canada compared to many places in the world, the average wait is about a year or more. So I think that's pretty typical. The next question is Wally R17. What do you do for a living to afford all the luxury items? Oh my gosh, I get this question all the time. I'm an IT professional by trade. On the other hand, I feel like what you do is not as important as how you do it, I suppose. And that can be a whole other video. At the end of the day, it just boils down to mindset and your priorities. Priority, because I will say for a lot of people, they don't buy a lot of material things because that's not important to them. Maybe it's about raising kids, or maybe it's about experiences such as traveling. Maybe it's about just everyday luxury in terms of eating out and being able to enjoy their money like that. Whereas for me, even my first question reflected that already. For me, it's always about looking nice. I like to look nice. And so I think it kind of comes with the territory to carry nice things. Obviously, it was a very, very gradual progression for me, because I didn't start buying my first luxury bag in my until my late 20s. When I was hustling and working so much, even when I was 14, 15, 16, I didn't know that I would one day own all these luxury items, but I already had that mindset even back then when I was so young. I already knew the importance and the value of money, and I knew the importance of hustling, because you're not going to be young forever. You're not going to have energy forever. So I already knew for a long, long, long time, I already knew that making money and saving was important, because I knew how it felt to be poor and to sometimes not even know what's going to be on the table for dinner. Don't get me wrong, my parents did their best, and we had a really okay childhood growing up and everything, but there were some problems, just like every family has problems. And so you know, it was not easy. So I always knew the value of money, and I always knew that I had to hustle. And so it's more about the mindset. I didn't have any extracurricular activities because I'm either working or studying for school or going to school. At that time, when minimum wage was $6, earning $5,000 for one summer of work was a big deal. But I hustled. I worked several jobs at once. I will say that for many, many years in my early 20s, I was very, very frugal and was very careful not to buy things, too many things at least, to the point where it depleted my account. I can't say the same about now, because HERMES is very, very expensive. It's a whole other level of crazy. And so I don't even know if this can be sustained long term. Well, I already know that it cannot be. But I do have my goals. I do have my eyes on my perfect wish list. And so once I reach that, I can really calm down and just scale back. My life might look fancier than it is on social. I just put all my money on luxury, and I just am very frugal everywhere else. I don't eat out, I don't get haircuts, I don't do my nails. I just cut my own hair nowadays, and I cook all the time, and we don't drink. We don't have fancy cars, we don't have fancy furnitures, we don't have anything else that's nice. However, for me personally speaking, I spend all my money, including some savings, on luxury, because that's what's important to me, which of course I don't recommend. It's not for everyone. If your priority is about your children, your family, your experience, your life experience, your education, anything else than materialistic things, that's where your money should go, because it depends on your priority. Miss Annie Malley, now that you have your substantial Tiffany piece, what's next? Good question. I will say that after getting this piece, and it was sort of like a mini heart attack, you know, because the price is so high. This one will be with me for life. Probably one of the only bangles I will be enjoying for the next little while. I don't think I'll be adding any substantial bracelets anytime soon. Rings. For me, it's about building more rings in my collection. I definitely want a more substantial ring for my index finger to stack with my left hand, and that goes with the whole, you know, vibe here. So I'm definitely looking into more rings. I love the Tiffany lock. They only have the rose gold and white gold version for the Tiffany lock, because they only slowly expanded their collection. I'm not sure if they're still expanding it. I hope they will. Other than that, I do have my eyes on a few HERMES rings, of course. Unfortunately, the price did increase already, so I'll just take my time getting them. There's no rush. I'm just really enjoying getting into fine jewelry. It's just so rewarding. Rewarding because I know I'm getting something substantial that I will own for the rest of my life. Just because the resale value is not there is kind of irrelevant for me, because once I commit to any piece of fine jewelry, I literally wear them to death, and I wear them all the time. So it's about cost per wear for me. Who's Spendora 360? How long does it take to get a Kelly 25? What is the spend ratio for it in a neutral color? Same old questions. I feel like I get these questions every day, and I talk about it all the time, but like, I guess not everyone watches all the videos. Like I mentioned earlier, for my Kelly, it took about a year, a little a little over. The spend ratio for my Kelly was definitely higher. It was closer to 2.5, which you can argue that is low or high. It just depends relatively to where, right? Because if you're in Paris, you can get a quota bag without pre-spend. Apparently, if you go to New York and some places in the USA, you can walk in, buy a couple of things and get offers as well. So relative to those cases, yes, the pre-spend is very high, but relative to places that have very, very limited supply, it's sort of kind of average. I honestly feel that it's so easy to go over a very high ratio of quota, because even for me myself, if I didn't have more self-restraint, because there's so many things that I like. I mean, just speaking of fine jewelry on its own, there's so many fine jewelry out there that I like. I mean, I like all of them, honestly. But unless I had self-restraint and don't buy all of it, you can honestly spend, I don't know, 10 to 1, 5 to 1 very, very easily in a glimpse of a few transactions. It's really, really fast, and you still have to end up waiting that long anyway, just because they can't give you a bag unless they have it. So it just depends on the supply, right? One time my SA told me, and I don't know how true that is, but he did tell me that they don't even really get the seasonal colors that much, because like they do come in, but it's like they don't get that much of them because our supply is already so low. Apparently, we still end up getting more neutral colors anyway. I cannot stress how much different each and every store and every city and every individual experience will be. They are all going to be unique and different to each individual. Coco Bell 77, will you be coming back to London this year? Oh, I would love to. I can't say for sure, because when we plan vacations, we almost just like think about it and then we're like, okay, let's go. At this time of filming this video, we don't have a plan to go back. But I would love to. I really, really love to. And I hope that we will, within this year, go have another trip in Europe. It would be really, really nice. I think the biggest challenge for us is just scheduling, because, you know, there's school, there's work, and just coordinating everyone's schedule. But if I do, I will definitely vlog. I will definitely, don't forget to vlog, even if it's a little bit. Miles and Sid, what does your dream Hermes bag collection look like? I will leave it up to fate, but if only I could have three more bags from Hermes, I would feel like it's complete and it would be my dream collection already. So if I could have one mini Lindy, one mini Kelly, and one Constance 18, that would already be my dream Hermes collection. To be very, very candid and being very sort of realistic about it. Since you ask about bag collection, but if we have to be less technical, then yes, 4. Have to include the Constance to go. And just because I already have 3 Hermes bags that are black, I think I just would avoid black if possible. But if I still get offered a black bag, and if I really like the combination, I would not say no either, you know? For example, if the mini Kelly comes in black, I'll take it. However, if I could just like make this dream a bit less realistic, like kind of like the sky is the limit, for me the dream collection would be to have 2 of each, a dark color and a light color. So same bags that I mentioned earlier, Birkin 25, Kelly 25, mini Kelly, mini Lindy, Constance 18, and Constance, maybe Constance to go, I don't need 2, just 1 is fine. So for each of the bags, I would love them to be in a dark color and a light color. So because I already have some black, just any light color would be fine. And yeah, that would be literally, you know, the sky is the limit type of dream collection. But I'm not gonna be greedy. I honestly feel like what I have already is already holy grail status. I cannot ask for any better than black anyway. And so it's just a matter of getting a few more styles. Just three more styles. And it would be complete and it would be my dream collection already. Question is from Kat Cruz. Hi Amy, I've always been wondering about your HERMES Kelly 18 belt, which you have 2 colors. If you wear pants or denim with it, does it hold your pants? Or is it just for the looks? Like, is it really meant for what it is, if that makes sense? So I do have 2 Kelly belts. In fact, mine are the Kelly pocket belts. So you get also the additional removable Kelly pocket, which is like a card holder thing. And I'm already eyeing a 3rd one because like I mentioned for the bags, I like it with a dark color and a light color. This is a light color. Sorry, let me just show the belt. So the gold is sort of a lighter color, but I want like a really light color. So I'm still eyeing a 3rd one. Yes, the Kelly belt is my favorite belt now of all times. Literally favorite belt of all time. And to answer your question, yes, they are meant to be holding up your pants. They definitely can. It actually is quite hard to adjust them sometimes because they can be really stiff at first. Now, also keep in mind that I've only owned these belts for a few months. So mine are not like vintage or anything like that. I wonder if you've owned them for many years, that maybe they will loosen up a bit where the adjustments are. So these are, you know, fully adjustable belts, right? The Kelly belt is fully adjustable, and that's the beauty of it, so that if you ever change weight, which I think we all do, including myself, you can still adjust it. You can wear it on your high waist, on your low waist. And so they're perfect for that, and they do hold up your pants, don't worry. They do hold up your pants for sure. And so I wouldn't worry about it. This one question is not from Instagram, but I also get it very frequently, and it just popped up on my video. Where, from Roxanne Roque, where do you sell your luxury or where do you let go of your luxury purchases? I do sometimes host vlog sales on my channel, but if I don't have enough to do a full video, I will usually just post it on my second Instagram, which I know some of you follow, the random things that I'm selling, like just the 1 or 2 things that it's just not really worth getting a whole video up. Other than selling privately, I basically use all avenues that are possible. Sometimes I sell it to friends and family because they've just asked me out of the blue. So those are not really planned anyway. It's just like people that just come forward and ask me. Sometimes even subscribers do that. There are 2 main consignment stores that I use, one in Canada and one in the US. So the one in Canada is Luxe du Jour. So I have used them to sell quite a few things actually. I also use Fashion File. So it just depends on where I get the best quote. Obviously they take a commission because they are offering you a service. Unless you do it yourself, then you're doing all the work yourself, and you have to worry about insurance and shipping and all the logistics by yourself. So that's a lot of work. Is it worth it for your own time? You have to determine your opportunity cost. If you make more money out of your own business or job and sidekick, then maybe it's better to just outsource that to someone else to do it for you, which is why even when I do my vlog sales, I would just leave it up for a few days. Basically, whatever most people are interested in would get sold out right away, and then the rest I just send it to consignment and be over with it. So those were all the questions. Thank you all so much for asking them. I feel like there's a lot of repeats, like what do I do and how long and what's the ratio, that type of questions. They come up so often and I answer them all the time. I guess not everyone pays attention when they watch my videos, or maybe they skip them, so they just don't really hear that portion of the video. I always take new questions on my Instagram stories when I'm ready to film a Q&A, so definitely follow me there. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. In addition to my regular uploads, I also co-host a live stream every week. Plus, if you want the ultimate experience, you can join my membership where you get exclusive members only behind the scenes content and unboxings and story times. Thank you so much and have a great day. I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Bye!